shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping,
and I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready, ready
for another day.
Hey, no one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play.
We do our best, so we'll be great.
You do your best, best,
and I do mine.
So let's get ready, cause it's about that time. Good morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, good morning,
play.
Good morning,
so start today.
Good morning, open your eyes.
Reach for the sky.
Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind,
Woo, stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah,
I'm on the move, I got a way to ride to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn and play.
Hey y'all, hey, good morning. Today is Thursday, March 11th, 2021. And it's Thursday. We are morning winds. I'm sorry. Thursday. We are on First King James to get connected. He was on, so he's coming on, y'all. Good morning, First King James. How are you doing today?
What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? Happy Thursday to you.
What's happening? Happy Thursday. My hair look a little big today. What's good?
You can switch it out right quick.
That's why people don't like you. Right there.
Well, I mean, what I do? No, it looks not.
What?
Who don't like me? I'm a likable person.
Oh, okay. But we got a great show coming up today, y'all. We have I'm trying to fix it. We have Jay Wendell Gordon. He's always on with us. He comes on a regular basis. Attorney. Today is Ask a Lawyer. He is going to be talking about the George Floyd trial. Have you guys been following that? Have you been following it too? What the? Hold on.
No, that was my ring light. No, I will.
No, make it brighter. That's all I'm saying. Make it brighter.
No, that was too much light.
That was not. No. Illuminate. Just a little bit.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
A little bit darker. Just a little bit darker. Don't you have the controls on the back of it? Turn it down. I like the gold better. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Not the blue light. Yes, that light. Just a little bit lighter. All right. Well,
okay, we're fine. We can move on.
TMZ lights together, y'all. That's what we call his TMZ light. Jay Wendell Gordon is going to be on for Ask a Lawyer. We're talking about the George Floyd trial. Have you guys been following it? What's good, Facebook? I'm looking for y'all. You been following it, Terry?
Yeah. Actually, the publisher and I are going to meet in regards to some type of coverage that we want to provide because, it's just gotten started. It was delayed because of the fact that they wanted to add a third charge, like third-degree murder. But, it looks like, the trial's underway. Mr. Derek Chauvin is back in the state where he belongs. Some people felt that he should have never have been released, but he's back. And so, it'll be interesting to see how this develops. If they're going to make an example of him to try to conciliate to the black community, propitiate to the black community, to throw us a bone to try to placate us and make him a sacrificial lamb, or are they going to do as they do in most police brutality cases, let him go, and therefore solidifying their stance that while we are expected to act as first class citizens, defend this country as first class citizens, we are not treated as first class citizens, and that there is a hierarchy in America. So it remains to be seen.
Okay. Well, Jay Wendell Gordon, attorney, is coming on at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. So you guys make sure that you tune in to him and make sure that you have your questions so that he can answer them. And hopefully we can keep him and Terry from getting in a um what type of match am I gonna call it? A I
We
don't
didn't have a
know.
match the last time. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
What kind of
y'all
match did we
got
get into?
into it. Y'all went on about the guy who you declared a hero and he didn't necessarily see him as a hero um from the
The Capitol.
Capitol. Yeah.
Yes, yes, from the
So
U.S. Capitol. The guy who saved lives at the U.S. Capitol by diverting the insurrectionists, the seditionists, away from the Senate floor door, where senators and their staff were hiding. Yeah, I believe that there was lives saved because the way that they did those police officers and killed one U.S. Capitol police officer and beat others. Some have permanent injuries. Some lost an eye. Some people, one killed himself. So I do believe that based upon the way they acted on the outside, that had they gotten their hands on some of the people on the inside, there would have been a greater loss of life. So yeah, I guess we just differ in our definition of a hero. And um, but what we can say is that he did his job. He defended um, the citadel of democracy in America, which is the U.S. Capitol. So, and he was rightly rewarded and recognized. So, um, I don't expect any, but I'm going to stand my ground. I mean, he ain't going to come for me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Unless I
well
send
that's
for him.
fine. Listen. We just want to make sure that you guys get along today and we don't have, as producer TJ put it, a thriller in Manila. Uh I don't know
Well, the thing is, well, yeah, that
anything
brings up a
there's
good
too
point
much
because,
you guys can disagree on today because you're both in favor of Derek Chauvin getting the maximum penalty. So
yeah, yeah. But
go from
speaking of
there.
the thriller in Manila, as I will elaborate in our report, shout out to Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, who finally got a statue unveiled
They did.
of the real in Philadelphia. I'm sorry, in Pennsylvania, suburban Philadelphia. And I'll explain that more, but it's about time, 50 years later. So I'll explain that later. So shout out to Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier for changing the culture or impacting the culture, and for all of their family members who attended.
Shout out to them. I want to say good morning to Facebook before we take our break. Good morning, Jeffrey Phillip Hicks. Happy Thursday. Robert Cool Ransom. Good morning. We got Belinda Wallace checking in from South Florida. Good morning, Belinda. How's it going out there? Y'all got spring breakers down there? Is it crowded? Just asking. J.O. King Wayne, Shirley Carter, beautiful Philadelphia. Good morning, Shirley. Hey, Tarian. Good morning. And everyone else that's watching, good morning. When we come back, we are going to talk about our Sisters with Superpowers because it is still March and we are still celebrating women and their superpowers. So we'll be back after the break.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell risk if they're taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, or harm if accidentally taken by a child or a pet. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop-off boxes. If there isn't one available, check the FDA's flush list. If your medicine isn't on the flush list, you can dispose of it in the trash. Get information to keep your family safe.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him.
His real name is Darion, and we call him Day Day for short.
Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's affection, attention, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. Just do it from the right place. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job. I'll say my kid's pretty dope.
COVID-19 has hit our community real hard.
We're dying from coronavirus at almost double the national rate.
If we come together, we have the power to save what matters to us, our Black lives.
There's power in protecting your loved ones.
There's power in wearing a mask and social distancing.
There's power in knowing the facts and using your voice.
Let's fight COVID-19. Visit bethepowerofus.org.
Oh, hey, y'all. Hey, I was just taking a sip of my coffee. Welcome back. Belinda Wallace says it's always lovely this time of year in South Florida. That's great to hear. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle Pascal is checking in. Michelle, are you East Coast? Are you in Chicago or are you in New York? Let us know. Where y'all watching from? Drop y'all city. Let us know where y'all watching from. So let's go ahead and get into the sister with superpower. So Dr. Maya Green, she says, she has saved Black lives during a pandemic. She's a medical director at Howard Brown Health. And she says that, let me get y'all her superpower, because we got a whole story on how she was saving lives during the pandemic, a superhero with a doctor's cape. So in the case of sheroes like Dr. Maya, they not only run to the fire, but through it. Dr. Maya, aka Dr. Maya 100, because she keeps it real with empowering medical advice for the community, runs through burning firestorms of elitism, racism, countless other socio-cultural strongholds to a broken system that limits and prohibits the adequate treatment of Black patients in need. A problem has been clearly exposed during this pandemic where Blacks have been disproportionately affected, with far too many losing their lives. Due to this broken system, Dr. Maya has chosen to be on the front lines as a survivor for underserved Blacks during the pandemic. She sets up tents in early March for COVID-19 testing in Inglewood, one of the most underserved Black communities in the country. She strategically positioned herself to test and quickly accelerate treatment to save the lives of Blacks who were at most risk of dying from COVID. Um, so she is our sister with superpower. This
All
day,
right now.
Thursday. I'm
Black
looking for
girls
her
rock.
superpower. So it says, what superpower is required for doctors to treat patients during the COVID pandemic? And she says, love. Everybody's dealing with trauma. We're encountering a devastating pandemic that's invisible. We can't see it, but we can take it, but it can take our lives. There's a mental fallout that we experience due to this traumatic reality. The trauma only escalates when that thing doesn't go away after a period of time. She goes on to say that she cries every morning because of the devastating effects of COVID-19 is having on our community. But then she has to tap into her greater power than the notion of doing your job. It's a marriage to this thing because the cause and purpose to fight. The cause is the purpose to fight and not quit. Your heart has to be tied to it. So she says her superpower is love. So there we go. It was a very
That's what's up. Girl power at its
detailed story.
best.
Yes.
Black
So,
girls rock.
Sisters with Superpowers, the conference will be held at the end of March, Friday, March 26th through Saturday, March 27th. We're also going to close it out with a Black book brunch with Bevy Smith. And she's going to be talking about her new book, Bevelations. To register for the conference, go to peaceandpurpose.co. Again, peaceandpurpose.co. We've also shortened that URL to tinyurl.com/SWSP 2021. That's Sisters with Superpower 2021. tinyurl.com/S as in Sam, W as in work, S as in Sam, P as in Portia, 2021 to register for that. And also to register for the Rolling Out Book Club, go to rollingout.com/books, rollingout.com/books. The conversation will be moderated by pop culture critic Esau Harris of our very own Rolling Out. So make sure that you RSVP for that. It's limited, right? So if you guys don't get to it now, you might not have a chance to. And I'm going to ask producer TJ how many spots are left. We'll check it. We'll see. But y'all, that's definitely an event that you want to attend. And Seagram's is also hosting a panel with Cynthia Bailey. She's going to be there. Africa Miranda, she was at our last Peace and Purpose. She's going to be there as well. Kadeen Ellis, you guys may know her. She's an actress and she's also a host. She has a very famous family on Instagram. Her husband is an actor as well, and he's in a lot of these different shows. The last one that comes to mind, I think, was Bigger. Did y'all watch Bigger? Did you watch the whole season of Bigger, Terry? Anyway, it was hilarious. Is Iris on? Iris said, you said I would like it. Girl, it was hilarious. I binge watched it on a Saturday and laughed my behind off. But nonetheless, her husband was in Bigger. That was the last time that I seen him in Bigger as a he was a fraternity brother or something like that. But yeah.
That's what's up.
I laughed until I couldn't laugh anymore. Producer TJ is asking me, how do I laugh my behind off? Hey, D Shields, good morning. Is it cold in the Rocky Mountain? It was 72 degrees yesterday here in Detroit. Good morning, Kathleen. Shout out to the D. I know you were out there running, Kathleen. You're in New York, Michelle. Yep. So I know you out there running. It was nice yesterday. I'm ready for spring.
Oh, okay.
I birds. They're chirping.
Yeah. It's very spring-like. Yeah, very spring-like right now in the country. Above normal weather. So it's not just down here in the deep south. Here in Georgia, it is approximately 70 degrees. So you said it was 72 in Detroit. So yeah, it looks like, and my boy told me yesterday, or he said on Facebook yesterday, it was 66 in Delaware. So, and it's in
Delaware?
the 80s Yeah, Delaware. And
Okay.
my other boy said that it's in the 80s in Houston. So, what did they say the weather was down in Florida? 'Cause I know it's hot down there already. I know it's hot.
I think
So,
it's gonna be like 80 degrees this week. I just checked randomly because I miss it. Yeah. All right. Kathleen says she outside right now. She's about to eat some miles. Girl, love you too. Iris Baker said, yeah, it was nice here in Chicago, but that wind was. Listen, it was very windy last night. I had a hard time sleeping. I don't know if my window was cracked or whatever, but I just kept hearing stuff all night. But she said, yeah, I guess that's why we're called the Windy City. Iris Baker is in Chicago, y'all. G Shields, who was in Denver, said heavy snow over the weekend and the start of the week
see,
coming, 25 degrees.
mm-mm,
Girl,
I
no.
can't tolerate that. No, mm-mm,
Girl,
man.
no.
Snow,
That's
man.
too much.
Yeah,
That's too much.
I don't even remember. Yeah, we didn't get a drop, not even a flake of snow down here in Atlanta. So I can't understand this late in the year it having a snowstorm. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Mm-mm. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, going back to Sister Superpowers, y'all go register today. Get your RSVP in for the Black Book Brunch. That is going to be so much fun. There's going to be so much enlightenment during the conference. Make sure that you tap in. Tap in. What's going on, King James? What's going on in your report?
oh, well, I mean, uh, for right now, the I mean, I'm not doing well. I don't know if it's time for my report, but I know there's a lot going on in the country. I mean, I know that
Well, let's talk
uh,
about it then.
that what I'm about to, if you give me a chance. Kanye
We gonna
has
be nice.
cut off your hero. Yeah, Kanye has cut off your hero Kim Kardashian as they go through the divorce proceedings. So
I'm not
that's
understanding.
pretty
What you
troubling.
just say? What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can
I
you hear
didn't
me?
hear you. I can hear you. I didn't comprehend what you said. What did you say?
Oh, I said that Kanye West has cut off your hero Kim Kardashian as they engage in
Oh,
divorce proceedings.
what do you mean he cut her off?
That he's not speaking to her right now. I guess he's out there
Oh,
stuck out there in Oregon or Utah or Montana or wherever, Wyoming it is. Yeah, Wyoming. And so she's back in Calabasas, which is about a half hour drive north of Los Angeles. And so I guess they're not talking to each other, or he's cut her off. And so we want to take a moment of pause for your hero, Kim Kardashian, because she must not be feeling very well right now. I
right.
know
So
that,
D, I didn't understand either. D was like, he cut her a check. No, he cut her off. So that just means that he not speaking to her because I'm sure they probably wasn't speaking well into the start of their divorce proceedings. Like I'm just trying to understand why that's news. Not from
yeah,
you, but just from America. I don't understand.
at least he's not putting his hands on her as Pepe Le Pew used to do with the
Least,
cat.
not the least.
No, I'm saying that he's not abusing her in any way. That people accuse Pepe Le Pew, the cartoon skunk, of doing that female skunk on or the cat in Bugs Bunny cartoons. So
That was
because of
sexual
that,
harassment.
yeah, he was, and so it's a great debate erupted on Twitter yesterday and the day before because some people think that that's political correctness on steroids, while other people said it's time to let Pepe Le Pew go or give him the axe because he promotes rape culture with his behavior. And so I wish I had have remembered that, TJ, because there's a video of Mr. Dave Chappelle talking about that very subject on YouTube. So it's hilarious, but yeah, it's he talks. He's a little profane. I don't know if I could find the video if we're allowed to play it. Let me know, if we can play that, TJ. But anyway, so they've cut him out of the final cut of the Space Jam's sequel that's starring LeBron James and Dame Lillard, Dame Time, and Anthony Davis and a lot of other NBA stars, and the cartoon, and of course the Bugs Bunny cartoon folk, Looney Tunes. So And one report has that he is Pepe Le Pew has been effectively barred from any future Warner Brothers projects, cartoons. So I would like to know from Facebook. I mean, is Pepe Le Pew a rapist? Is he a sexual abuser?
I wouldn't go to that extent to say rapist. He definitely was creepy and I'll say he was creepy. I'm not gonna say he was a rapist because they never showed that he succeeded with doing anything. He was just very aggressive. And yeah, they probably should have taken him off the air way back when. We didn't like Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Right,
like,
he never got it.
yeah, and a lot of people are like Dave Chappelle. When he was a kid, he used to love Pepe Le Pew. He thought that was cute and funny, and he was adorable. But he's changed his mind as an adult. He said as a kid,
Yeah.
he loved Pepe. Yeah, TJ loved Pepe Le Pew too. He was a Mac. Yeah, he was a Mac daddy. He was a Mac daddy.
Disturbing. Oh my God.
How was he disturbing? I know you cheered him on as a kid too. Stop playing.
Never. No, I was always the one that was like, please don't touch me. Pepe, stop.
D. Iris Davis or Iris Baker. What do y'all think? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Was Pepe Le Pew a Mac? You know what I'm saying? And he just getting a lot of hate because he successfully, he knew how to throw game. He knew how to spit game.
He was a creepy old man. That's what he reminded me of. Creepy old man.
Yeah, but TJ said he was a French Mac daddy. Yeah, but anyway, while we debate that on Facebook, it looks like
he never got it.
Congratulations to Queen Latifah, who has had The Equalizer signed on for another year. And I watched it the other day. I meant to put it on Facebook. It's good. I did not think that anybody could. Yes, I never thought anybody could step in and play Denzel Washington's legendary character, and that is to me that's his best character, among his best character that he's ever played, better than Training Day. To me, The Equalizer is just that movie, and he's that dude.
Okay.
So I didn't think anybody could get in there and play that. But when I watched it the other day, and I watched the whole hour episode, it was good. I was like, this is good. So I was going to put that on Facebook. So what do y'all think? Queen, is it good? Is The Equalizer good with Queen Latifah taking on the reboot for television?
I need to check that out. I definitely need to check that out. But it's definitely time that we give Queen Latifah her flowers. She's been in this game for a minute, and I can't recall us like giving her any like legend awards or icon awards. Like I don't recall that. Maybe we have, but it's definitely time to give her flowers right now because Cleo been rocking since way back in the day. So
okay, well, before we bring in our guests, we got the Snowfall episode that is coming up. That we've done some things that are appearing on Facebook. We've done a couple of stories, and thrilling. Whoosh, boy, the trailer for the fourth season is deep. I mean, deep. So let's check it out right quick. If we got that queued up, TJ, whenever you feel like it, if you feel like it, whatever the mood strikes you. Thank you.
Either you join the system and let it destroy you, or fight it.
How low can you go?
We expanded. It's time we grow past LA.
Public enemy #1.
More product coming over the border means more competition.
Let's roll. I like them off the board. They're bad for business.
I'm gonna kill everyone to get in my way.
There's things I can help you with and things I can't. Stopping a gang war falls in the latter.
If we go to war, we ain't gonna survive it.
You might know where we live.
We ain't running from nobody.
Yeah, yo, come on.
Here we go again.
Give me some reason to believe that we can make it out intact.
Who's protecting Franklin and why?
My fate's tied to your conflict in Nicaragua. How much longer you think the good old USA stays involved?
I have sacrificed everything for this mission.
Drugs, corruption at the highest levels.
You seem to think you have something on me.
Head now.
I want to see Franklin Saint in prison.
Don't Joanne! Fine!
You can't trust anyone.
Shelf life in my line of work is pretty limited.
Snowfall premieres Wednesday, February 24th on F.
So have y'all been tuned in? Little fun fact about Snowfall. Of course, the late John Singleton, it was one of his productions, and he drew from his own experiences during the crack epidemic. But Idris Damson, yes, the lead character of Franklin.
Damson Idris.
Okay.
His first name is Damson.
Okay. Damson. So his character Franklin is actually influenced by real life former drug kingpin Freeway Rick Ross. I thought that was very interesting when I read that, and of course I had to look it up because I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently it is true. Between 1982 and 89, federal prosecutors estimated that Rick Ross bought and resold several metric tons of cocaine. Today, so his gross revenue claimed to be more than $900 million, the equivalent of $2.7 billion. I guess he had a system and then he knew what he was doing, right? So during the height of his drug dealing, Rick Ross was said to have sold 3 million in one day. And in 96, he was sentenced to life in prison under the 3 strikes law. However, after learning to read at the age of 28, y'all, he didn't know how to read. So he was doing all of this and he did not know how to read, but he knew how to count. But anyway, so after learning how to read at 28, he taught himself the law and discovered legal loopholes that led to his release from prison in September of 2009. Y'all, what y'all think about that? Is Terry Paint? Oh no, he's there. What y'all think about that? So anyway, so that made me very interested in the series. Take a look at how they fictionalized it. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I loved about John Singleton, and this is just his lane, is that he brilliantly interwove good and evil into the same movie, sometimes the same character, sometimes the same scene. And so he did that to Oscar glory or Oscar nomination glory with Boys in the Hood. He did it with Baby Boy. He did it as a producer of Hustle and Flow starring Terrence Howard. And basically what he does is that he shows the unadulterated truth as it is. You know, he doesn't try to glorify something and he doesn't try to demonize people. He basically shows the good and bad of a particular person or a particular scene. So he showed the good and bad of a particular Los Angeles street in Boys in the Hood, both the good and the bad, both the responsible and the irresponsible, both the criminality and the educated. So I think he's done that throughout that. And this was just an extension of that with Snowfall. So I love him because he showed the ungarnered truth and not try to whitewash it, nor try to hide it. So shout out, rest in peace, my brother.
So are we watching Snowfall? Iris said, I've not missed an episode since season 1. Yeah, so we watching it. Snowfall is the show to watch for sure. So I thought that was an interesting fact. Actually, Rick Ross is out to this day. He's still alive. I know that he's out in California, and I believe he's in the cannabis business right now. So
yeah, you have to say Freeway Rick Ross because of the fact that people will, mistake him for the rapper Rick Ross. So just add Freeway in there if you can. Yeah, Freeway Rick Ross.
Freeway Rick Ross. Is that who he got his name from? Is that who the rapper got
Yes,
his name from?
yeah. And at one time, Freeway Rick Ross sued because he was saying, "Man, he's using my name." You know what I'm saying? And he basically grabbed his name off of his infamy. But a judge struck it down. Rick Ross was able to keep the name, but he also goes by the nickname, of course, Ricky Rose. And then Rick Ross just added Freeway so that there was, people could distinguish between the two. I think it's mutually beneficial. As long as Rick Ross remains a prominent figure within the hip hop genre, Freeway Rick Ross will he's always going to be admired by a certain section of the population. But I think this helps to enhance and amplify his own personal brand, because he's branded himself now that he's, kind of transitioned into the legal drug distribute, or I should say legal drug sales with marijuana and cannabis. So, do we have I know that we had a guest on standby. Is he here? Is our attorney who called the Capitol officer a hero? Is he here? Oh, he's not here. Okay, I thought that he was here. I thought that it looked like he said he was. Oh, okay. I'm just a little bit premature. Okay. Well, anyway. Portia, are you still there? Okay, I thought you were frozen.
Yeah. No, I'm here.
Okay. Now, anyway, the next thing that we're looking at is that we have, Beyonce has thrown some support. This will be in my report, but just wanted to mention that shout out to Beyonce for getting Meghan Markle's back. She is basically being pilloried all throughout London, and by former CNN host Piers Morgan for allegedly adopting the victimization stance or posture, saying that she was the victim of, when she told Oprah that she was a victim of rabid racism and systemic racism, which the Buckingham Palace denies. But when you ask a woman how dark a child may be, and I believe that happened, then that is just crushing, oppressive racism. You know what I'm saying? That's just suffocating. But anyway, I'll talk about it more in my report a little bit later. But I just want to give shout out to Queen Bey for stepping out. Also, there's other people who've gotten her back. Wow, I can't believe I was just thinking about this. Other people who have stepped up to back up Meghan Markle. What do you think about her revelations? And what do you think about? Do you think she was a victim and that she was unfairly targeted by, a callous, merciless, ruthless British media? Portia?
What was the question? I'm distracted. What was the question?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, come back to us. Get back on track. Do you think that Meghan Markle do you believe her testimony to Oprah Winfrey on Sunday? Because I know you didn't watch the basketball game, so I know you were watching Meghan Markle on Oprah. Okay, well, that was a good answer. On to the next subject. She's not even there anymore. Well,
I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I just got distracted.
Oh, is everything okay? Well, I hope everything's okay.
It's
just
fine.
let me know if there's anything.
What we do?
Just let me know if there's anything that I can do. Because normally when I come on, I carry the show anyway.
Coffee.
So
I'm going to get more coffee. I'll be right back.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah. Go ahead and abandon me right there in the middle of a segment. But anyway, if you can get that scrolling going again, TJ, I would appreciate that because there were some things I wanted to talk about that I was not able to. There is shout out. Speaking of girl power, the NFLPA has hired its first Black female COO. So shout out to the NFLPA for recognizing. Anyway, that I can't see. Yeah, now I can't. Oh, all of a sudden I can't even bring up her name. But I think that in the month of Women's History Month, I think that it's appropriate that we give a shout out to the NFLPA for hiring this Black female. And I'm trying to bring up her name, and the last name is Smith, and I believe it's Tia Smith. but I'm going to check for sure. Her name is Terry Smith. Terry. How can I forget that name when my middle name is Terrence? But anyway, shout out to Terry Smith. She is the first Black COO of the NFL Players Association. And so Black girls are just making moves, or Black women are just making moves all over the place. If you noticed during the NFL season, there were Black female officials. In the NBA, it's not even thought of. It's not even a second thought anymore. They were probably one of the first to do that. It remains to be seen if we can get some Black umpires on the baseball diamond. But I don't know how much of an appetite that Black women have to officiate those games. Umpires, basically because there's baseball, there's softball that happens, and that comes to fruition. Yes, I see.
Terry, I don't know what's going on with your audio, but it's choppy now.
Okay, I apologize to the audience. Can you hear me right now?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Okay, I apologize to the audience for my choppiness. I have a very good Wi-Fi system now, so I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Must be TJ. Must be his system going. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm good. I'm good on this side. I'm good over here. But yeah, so so shout out to Terry Smith for being the first Black female COO of the NFL Players Association. I think it's long past due, but that goes in line with the Black females who have been hired as coaches in the NFL and are now serving as referees in the game. They're also in basketball, and that's where they belong. I mean, about half the fan base of football now, professional football and college football, are women. So, huh?
What are we talking about?
Are you okay?
Terry, what you talking about? No, I'll be okay. But what you talking about? I missed it.
I was talking about giving a salute to Terry Smith, the first Black COO of the NFL Players
professional football. I don't know. Should women play professional football or baseball? I just don't think they should.
That's not what the subject was. The subject was the first NFL Players Association COO. That means that she's an executive. She doesn't get on the field, and she doesn't want to be on the field. But I think that it's about time for women to be in the executive office and ranks and as coaches.
Absolutely.
So they're being hired. Right, they're being hired as coaches and executives in the NFL ranks. So that's what we were talking about. So
Okay.
I know that you got detoured, but we need you to get back on the main road.
I'm trying.
And stay with us.
I'm trying.
Okay. Did you text Melinda?
Don't do that. Don't be telling all my business. Yes, I text Melinda.
Okay, well, you tell all my business. Hold on. You be telling all my business, telling everybody I was with Jocelyn, and you know what I'm saying. And so no, I will. I'm telling her. I'm telling everything.
Oh God.
Yeah. So that's what's going on right there. And then, is it time to let Chris? Is it time to uncancel, or to let Chrisette Michelle back to the cookout? Is she invited back at the cookout? She has been maligned and vilified for playing at Trump's inauguration. She fell precipitously into a deep depression and considered taking her own life. It's amazing how many prominent, famous, rich, and beautiful people considered taking their own lives, but she did, and she's trying to make a comeback. Is it time to let her off the hook? Is it time to accept her apology?
Here's the thing. So from what I remember and from what I recall, she was so unapologetic about what she did. And I think that is the factor that's holding people to her cancellation, right? Because she was just like, oh, well, I did it. So what? Okay. And so anyway, I think for that, people are keeping her in cancel status.
Okay.
And yes,
Oh, she
black
is.
folk have done far worse than she has done. However, at that time, we just was not rocking with Trump, and she was like, "I don't give a damn. I'm gonna take this little, close to $1 million, and I'm going to perform." But that was like the last performance that she really got paid. I'm not gonna say because I don't know. I don't have any documentation. I don't know who she, I don't personally know her. So she may have gotten paid after that, but that was like the last that we heard of her, right?
Yeah, pretty much on
Right.
a public scale, but she is attempting to come out with a new album or new material, and I just thought that what I'll let Facebook decide if it's time to let to forgive Chrisette Michelle, to bring her back to the cookout, to let her get a plate. You know what I'm saying? Let her get a hot dog or something. I mean, dang, let her get a
I
hamburger.
don't know, Terry. Okay, so cancel culture is kind of new. When Chrisette got canceled, it wasn't a thing to get canceled. So she just kind of like stayed in the cancel category because that's where everybody put her. But today cancel culture is more prevalent than it was back then. And when you look at like a Doja Cat who got canceled and then recanceled and then recanceled again, and she continues to make a comeback, and we allow her to make a comeback, I really don't see why we wouldn't allow Chrisette Michelle to come back either.
I
What do
mean,
you
look at
think?
Takashi 6ix9ine. He sold out the culture. He turned his backs on his brethren. Takashi 6ix9ine. And as soon as he got out, he sold hundreds of thousands of records, or copies of his record. And so I'm just saying, when do we decide what criteria do we have to decide who gets canceled and who does not? I mean, I don't get it. So excuse me.
COVID? COVID? Stop. Are you okay? I just want.
Yes.
What is going on?
I just got that's all. Just a little cough, just something caught in my throat. That's all. I'm good now. I mean, you're so extra. You're so dramatic. I mean, your histrionics just crack me up because it's so extra.
I just wanted to make sure you was okay because I can't get to you. So I was gonna
Yeah,
have to call somebody to go. You
oh,
okay?
okay. Well, yes. Well, I'm good. And your over dramatizations is well appreciated. So
I needed that laugh. I needed that laugh. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. He's okay. I used to make my kids do this. I'm okay. They had to raise their arms.
oh, okay,
Um,
sounds good. So
Nonetheless,
anyway,
so D Shield, I'm going to Facebook right quick. So D Shield said that Stacey Dash apologized also. What we doing with her? She's still
well, I'm gonna
in
talk about
cancel.
well, I'm gonna talk about that in my report, because I just did a
Okay.
story on it. It will be on rollingout.com this morning on my report on Stacey Dash and what social media, particularly Black Twitter, had to say about her apology. I'll go further into that. But
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
that's all.
Let me finish with Chrisette Michelle before you go there. So D
Okay.
Shield said she may need to go to the public with a long explanation. I can't see because I was crying and I got tears in my eyes. I'm sorry, y'all.
You mean it was that funny? Me coughing was
It
that
was
funny?
that funny. It was.
What, what,
'Cause I didn't know if you was okay. Well, I didn't know what happened. I didn't know if it was COVID. I'm like, hold on, stop, y'all. Okay, he good though. He good.
yes, I'm
So
good.
Kathleen said she listened to some of Chrisette Michelle's classics over the weekend based on her talent. Let her back. Yes. D Shields wanted to know if you was okay. She said, First King James, you okay? Well, just checking. Uh,
Thank you.
D said it's 6:50 in the morning and she hollering with me to girl. Listen.
It's not that funny, and I don't appreciate you. I don't appreciate you and Iris.
You gotta do that always.
No, it's not funny. I mean, what? I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's not. Y'all got me hot over here.
TJ, silence her thing. I mean, I don't get this. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my report. We're gonna start our report so that you try to stop laughing because you think this is funny. The first one that I'm gonna talk about is Ahmaud Arbery, and so the reason why I'm putting up Breonna Taylor, I will go ahead and connect the dots at the end at the end. But Ahmaud Arbery, a bill that's being called, unofficially the Ahmaud Arbery bill, has been passed by the House of Representatives in the state of Georgia, and basically it just criminalizes citizens' arrest from here forth. So basically, they will outlaw people taking the law into their own hands or being deputized unofficially, because that's basically what happened. It's just they asked the police, can they do it, and they did it, or they took the law into their own hands, and now they face murder charges. And so after they executed him without much resistance. So this reminds me, or this evokes the memory of the recently passed bill of Breonna Taylor. As you know, they passed a bill. It's now a law. It's a bill in Georgia, but in Kentucky, it is now a law. It is a law to have a no-knock, to serve or to perform no-knock warrants in the state of Kentucky anymore, following the tragic debacle that killed or assassinated, I wouldn't say assassinated, but the 26-year-old EMT worker, Breonna Taylor. So basically, I see this as just another form of conciliation to the Black community, to placate the Black community, basically just to silence us, to say that we're doing something, but it doesn't eradicate or obliterate the mentality that produced this violent episode in Brunswick, Georgia, where two men thought that they could go.
So Terry, what is the difference between a bill and a law? Y'all remember that old cartoon?
Yeah, a bill is a proposition.
Go ahead.
A bill is
we can ask Wendell Gordon. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, we can ask him. But a bill is just a proposition that is being forwarded by one or more members of the House of Representatives or senators, and then it goes through the House. It has to pass the House, then it has to pass the Senate, then the governor has to sign it, or the president has to sign it, and then that's when it becomes a law. So a bill is basically the equivalent of a proposition. And so that is good timing to bring in our esteemed colleague and Capitol Police worshiper.
Leave well enough alone.
Jay Wendell Gordon.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And
all right.
Yeah, we won't discuss your veneration and hero worship of the police officer who saved lives at the U.S. Capitol. We wanted to go right into Portia's question, since she slept during the segment in school when we taught.
I'm just a bill. I remember that cartoon.
And a bill.
I'm just a bill sick.
Okay, but you weren't paying attention to that cartoon. You can sing it, so why can't you remember it? I don't understand. Attorney Esquire Gordon, can you help her out, tell us what the difference between a bill and a law is?
Oh, a law has been enacted. A law has been passed by Congress and signed off by the executive, whether it's the president or a governor. So you were right. Everything you said was right. Everything I heard.
But everything that she sung, she can sing it, but can't recount the words that are in the song that says about a bill turning into a law. I don't understand.
I was saying it for the purpose of our viewership, Terry, because you didn't explain it right. You didn't explain it right.
No, I didn't articulate. I'm an articulate man. No, you asked me what was the difference. That wasn't coming from no audience. That came from you.
I needed you to clarify. Okay. Good morning, Attorney.
Good morning. How are you?
We are. I'm well. How are you? Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't be better.
That's good.
So what's going on? You said you're going to ask him another question in regards to something else today.
Well, so today we're talking about the George Floyd trial, and there is already a question in the Facebook chat that says, How will the George Floyd new law impact the outcome of this Chauvin trial, in your opinion?
The new law, the George Floyd new law, affect this trial? I'm not certain how it's going to affect the outcome of the trial. I'm not certain at all how it's going to affect the outcome of the trial. This trial is ongoing. They haven't even picked the jury yet, but I'm trying to think of the provisions of that law that even would be applicable. I just can't think right now, but but I don't think it's going to have any.
I'm sorry. Give us an overview. Bring us up to speed. What's going on with the trial, and what should we be? She was talking about the immunity law, but what should we be looking out for? What should we be paying attention to?
Well, right now we're in jury selection, and so far they've picked 5 jurors. I remember there was 1 woman of color and 1 African American male. I think there are two white males and 1 white female, if I'm not mistaken. But they have until March 29th to conduct their opening statements. Today is March 11th, and if they're getting 2 to 3 jurors a day, they're going to make their number. So I'm not concerned about whether or not they'll be able to select the jury. Now, Hennepin County I'm told is 74% white and 14% African American. So the jury is going to be sort of asymmetric in terms of race, I believe. But nonetheless, they're going through a rigorous voir dire process. That's a vetting process in more simpler terms, to find fair jurors. And I think they're going to make it. So once the juror gets seated, opening statements begin. I think it's going to be a very exciting trial to watch. I think America is going to learn a lot. And I think the fur is going to fly. Everybody's coming prepared. I know Keith Ellison has consistently said that he's prepared for trial. The defense attorneys are getting themselves prepared. And the judge seems to be, from what I hear and understand, he seems to be fair and impartial. They had some issues with character evidence, and the judge warned them about the use of that type of evidence. And so, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So they're going to, defense may try to bring up drug evidence, and state could possibly rebut that with some evidence of good character. So it's just going to be something that's very exciting to watch. I'm excited about it, and I know that's probably not the best thing to say about a trial like George Floyd's, but I'm a defense attorney, and I'm an attorney, who's a litigator. So anytime I get a chance to see litigation, I'm excited to watch it.
No, and I understand exactly where you're coming from, because it was a horrific situation with O.J. Simpson, but that was
right.
The entire planet was enthralled and captivated by that long trial. Mm-hmm. So, despite a double murder, 2 people were killed. So I understand what you're talking about. Separate from the actual murder or alleged murder of George Floyd by Derek Chauvin, former officer Derek Chauvin, the trial itself is definitely captivating. It's fascinating, because here's the thing. And as a defense attorney, I know you have to recite the law, but you also have an opinion. And so I was talking to Portia at the top of the show. It'd be interesting to see if he will be made a sacrificial lamb in order to placate and conciliate for the Black community, to keep them quiet, or if it would go a lot, if the trial will resemble a lot of cases in which police officers are exonerated, no matter what they do and no matter what evidence we have, as we saw with Daniel Pantaleo choking out Mr. Eric Garner in the Staten Island of New York. So you see what I'm saying? So I wanted you to pontificate and give your opinion. I know you have your professional opinion, but I want you to give your personal opinion about what you think may go down.
Well, one of the things I am concerned about is that they were only going to have 2 alternates. I believe the trial is supposed to last 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm just concerned that if they lose those 2 alternates and they get short of, if they lose 3 people, if they lose 3 people, then that could call for a mistrial. But what I'm expecting, to keep the Black people out the streets, Hennepin County, like I said, the demographics, it was 74% white. I think the white people were in the streets as well. It wasn't just Black people. So but I do feel like I represented the DC sniper back in 2006 in Maryland, and
oh my God, we went through,
way back in Maryland. I was a standby counsel in when he was being tried in Maryland. And we went through like 300, 400 jurors to seat, you know, I can't remember whether it was 14 or how many jurors we sat. You only need 12, but you have alternates in case someone from the 12 falls out for whatever reason, gets sick, COVID, breaks a leg, child gets sick, whatever the case, anything happens during trial. So you want to be prepared for the unexpected. But we were able to manage, you know, a jury that was able to sit. And even though they didn't come up with the verdict that I came with, and that was obvious because I believe that was a railroad trial. But nonetheless, I do believe that they were fair-minded people. And if they had had all the evidence, I don't necessarily believe that the case was something that was proven beyond reasonable doubt. But that's a whole nother story. Chauvin, you're going to see on television. So you're going to get the most of it, and you're going to be able to judge it for yourself. And whether you agree or disagree with the jury, that will be something that you hold for yourself, as opposed to you listening what the press felt about it. And that's what I appreciate about public trials. Maryland needs to get into this. Maryland is sort of retarded when it comes to, you know, cameras in the courtroom. We need to have cameras in the courtroom because that's the best way to, the best disinfectant, I would say, is sunlight. So the best way to make sure that justice is served is to have people watching. And when people watch, things happen differently in that courtroom.
Yeah.
So I want to go to Facebook right quick. I want to go to Facebook right quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Portia.
So
Yes, go ahead.
basically is saying that
Just run me over. Go ahead.
she said, I smell trial shenanigans with this case, with the defense not being good in this case. She said, I'm trying not to see it, but she wants to know, will immunity let Chauvin off? Wording it in it makes me worry that he will walk. So
no, immunity won't allow Chauvin to walk. However, police will use this phrase that they often face situations that are tense, rapidly evolving, and unexpected. And so that will be part of the jury instruction, that they have to face these types of situations every day. But look, we see it right on film. It's, you know, I don't know. We'll see what they come up with, but whatever it is, it's going to be intellectually dishonest. You can't defend with that case on television. There's no reason, no way, no how. So he's got the charges. I believe it's second degree and third degree and some other related counts. So if the jury is going to be fair, and we'll know whether or not they're fair because we're going to watch the same trial. If the jury is going to be fair, they're going to evaluate all that evidence and they're going to come up with a verdict that is fair. I'm not prepared to criticize them because they don't feel the way I do, but I do trust in the process that they are going through, that at least from where it stands today, it's got all the trappings of going in the right direction.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. That was a very slick. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just go. I mean, just go.
Okay.
Go.
So Kathleen Coleman, also checking in from Facebook, says basically they want to turn into a character slander fest on George Floyd.
True.
They want to turn it into a character slander fest on George Floyd. Not exactly sure if that has any bearing on the case. Do you think, in your professional opinion, that it does, if they turn it into a character slander fest on George Floyd?
Well, obviously, that's what they would need to do. However, the court has basically stated that a lot of what they think they want to do or that what they intended to do is not going to be accepted in this trial. You need to come up with something as a defense attorney. So you're going to try to do everything you can, and you're going to, you're not going to ask permission. You're going to beg your pardon. You know what I mean? If you got something you want to do, you're going to put it up there and let the judge smack it down. But you're going to try whatever you can. But at the end of the day, this really isn't about anyone's character. This is about, murder, so let them try, and they have to do that. But ultimately, the jury is going to decide the issues, and I'm still going to keep the faith that watching what we saw and even hearing their narration, because all they can do is narrate the video, because we saw it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So all you can do is narrate it and try to persuade me that what I saw, I didn't actually see. And for me, even as a criminal defense attorney who just said, give me something, because it's easier to tear something down than it is to build it up. As a defense attorney, we just got to pull one brick out of that wall and the whole thing comes down. So But I just feel like the way things are going, the ground rules that the judges set at the very beginning, the tone, the tenor, the temperament of what's taking place in that courtroom, I think that whatever comes out of it is going to be based upon considered judgment of all those who are the fact finders.
I see. I thank you
okay,
for,
go ahead, Terry.
no, I'm going to get my question in now. Okay.
I just said go ahead.
No. You don't give me permission. I'm a co-host, so you don't direct me to go. Now,
Iris said be good. Go ahead.
Okay, so you didn't go. You went ahead and railroaded over me again. Anyway, now I thank you for prevaricating over my question in regards to do you think he's going to get off or not? That was good. That was a nice, slick, evasive, evasive answer. But anyway, are there cameras going to be allowed on this trial? Because one of the ways in which racists engage in obfuscation or subterfuge and confuse the masses and lie is to not have cameras there, which I wish there were cameras during the grand jury testimony delivered by the Kentucky Attorney General when he was delivering the evidence in the Breonna Taylor case. I think that if we had been able to see that, he wouldn't have been able to get away with some of the things that he offered to the jury, saying that he didn't see any evidence as to why they need that any murder charges can be filed against the police officer who killed Breonna Taylor. So my question is it going to be, and do you agree with a television trial in Minneapolis, Minnesota?
Well, the trial has been online, so so that part has been real easy. In terms of whether or not he's going to get off, I know you asked me that question. So you have two courts going on simultaneously. You have the court of public opinion and the court of law. And so many of us have come to a verdict in the court of public opinion. That's why people are out in the street marching and everything else. The court of law, you get to see the case from a different angle and a different lens. So whether or not he'll be found guilty, I think that any reasonable person will likely find him guilty, but that's based upon the court of public opinion. Court of law, we got to see what judicial filters, keep out certain evidence and allow certain evidence in for a jury to consider. So that's why I'm trying, and you're trying to take me over the line, but I'm trying to stay on the fence and wait to see what happens, because that's what I'm trying to do. And I have to engender hope in our system, even though it's failed us on many, many occasions. But other times it's served us well. So, and I've seen both sides. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Portia.
so
Go ahead.
along that
What's your
line,
question?
Seven Walker from Facebook chimed in and he said, "Good morning, everyone. What I can't seem to understand is why are they even having a trial? We've all seen it live."
Because that Joker didn't plea, man. He didn't take a plea. He seems to think that, there's a defense for him, or at least some way to mitigate his sentence, because probably the plea required a lot of time. So, like, I got a case right now where a guy was involved in a drunk driving accident, and he was drunk, and there's really no defense for it. But if you take a plea, the court is bound by whatever agreement that you enter into with the prosecution. And if you don't like that agreement, then you got to go to trial, so the court will be free to sentence the client the way you want him to be sentenced, as opposed to the way this prosecutor wants him to be sentenced. Sometimes the judges don't have discretion to come off a sentence. They can only accept a plea if it's by an agreement. And so if you don't have an agreement as to the terms of the sentence, then you don't have an agreement. Even though you might agree, I could probably go to hold a court trial, do a not guilty statement of facts, just have them read into the record the facts, or I could make them put on their case and just sit silent and open and close the case, and then just get prepared for sentencing. Because what I'm more interested in than the guilty plea is the sentence. And sometimes, again, the judge's hands are cuffed when it comes to sentencing because of the plea offered by the state.
Okay,
Go ahead.
That brings up an interesting point in regards to, other than character assassination and besmirching his character, are there any other ways in which the defense will try to get him exonerated or vindicated? What other possible ways could they use? other
It
than
was an accident. I didn't know he was out of all. If he can talk, he can breathe. That's what police officers will tell you all the time. If you can talk, you can breathe. So if you say, I can't breathe, they say he's talking, he's still breathing. And so they continue to pressure until you're not talking anymore. Well, when you're not talking anymore, you can't breathe and you're dead. So he'll say, oh, it was an accident. I was just, waiting for whatever reason, or I was just trying to subdue him. If you could see there's a little twitch in his arm or a little shaking his leg, like they did with Rodney King. He wasn't down, even though they just beat him and beat him. They want to beat him into submission or beat him into a sedation pretty much. And so if there's a little twitch or something, he's saying, but he's not under my control yet. So he's going to probably say it was an accident, that he didn't recognize the recklessness of his conduct. And so that might not get him a full acquittal, but it might get him a lesser included offense with less time and provide mitigation towards sentencing.
Okay, is that similar to what Daniel? Hold on, just a quick question: is that similar to what Daniel Pantaleo, the former New York Police Department officer, is that the excuse that he used when he choked out Eric Garner in New York?
I'm not certain. I didn't really follow that case that closely, but certainly it's not a novel defense. It's something, right out of their playbook. I call it the 3 Ds: deny, discredit, and destroy. And so they'll try to come up with something, whether it's it's an accident or it didn't happen, or this guy's he's killable, so why y'all concerned about it? We make him killable so we can kill him, or and just destroy themselves. Yeah. They try to make him killable so you don't feel bad that they got killed. They bring up his criminal history. He was a bad person. He was a scoundrel. The world is better without him, sort of thing.
Okay, so going back to Facebook, Iris Baker said the judge is supposed to make the decision on whether to bring third-degree murder charges. Can you give us, can you explain to us the difference in the charges? So right now he's charged with at least second degree, but the judge was making a decision on whether to charge him with third degree as well. Can you explain to us the difference in the charges and the degrees, first, second, and third degree?
No, other than first degree is first degree murder. If it was Maryland, I could tell you all day. Minnesota's a little bit different. First degree murder anywhere is premeditated, deliberate murder. I call it cold-blooded murder. Second degree murder is what I call hot-blooded murder. That is when you get in the fight and you just it's a reason for it. That third degree deals with some degree of recklessness, that either unintentional recklessness, I think is what they called it. So the third degree murder count did get restored by the Supreme Court of Minnesota. So that count is now back on the charging document. So, but it's a lesser included offense, and it does not require the same type of what we call mens rea or intent. It could be by accident or some reckless form of conduct that led to a death. So that's how I would.
Then what is the difference, or how do you differentiate between third-degree murder and what you would call manslaughter?
And manslaughter is basically an accidental death. So with third degree, there's some type of recklessness, some type of reckless conduct, either intentional or unintentional. Manslaughter is you get in a car accident and maybe you're drunk and you kill somebody. So it's sort of like an accidental death.
Gotcha.
Man, I'm smarter than I thought I was this morning.
Listen,
Who else got a question? I'm ready. Who else? Who is it? Nancy King?
Let's see what they're talking about. So Dee, it's not necessarily a question, but she said that she's in tears for the Floyd family because it just doesn't feel like justice is near. She says, I want to be wrong about it. I don't know.
We gotta keep the face. Like I don't like all this, all this doom and gloom. We gotta keep the faith, y'all. Like I know we've taken some losses before, but we win more cases than we lose. Prosecutors win more cases than they lose. Defense attorneys win more cases than they lose. And the system does have it. It does work from time to time. It will work. So let's not go in there with the attitude that, oh, we're going to lose. He's going to get off and this, that, and the other. No, let's go in there and look. We saw what we saw. Okay. I'm expecting nothing other than a conviction, to be honest with you, based upon what I've seen. That you'd have to persuade me. And quite frankly, even though the burden of proof is beyond reasonable doubt, and people say they'll apply that standard, and because that is the legal standard, but truth be told, the beyond reasonable doubt is probably going to fall more so on Chauvin than the state, that burden that is. Chauvin needs to come up and tell us with a good reason why he did what he did. And quite frankly, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I just don't.
Right. So
Not my
everyone
decision.
in Facebook world, if you guys have a question, put it in for the attorney. He's still here. He's still asking questions. We got the video for "I'm Just a Bill" on Capitol Hill, but before we go there, D wanted to know, is third degree easy to prove? Let's go to it after the video. Is third
Yes,
degree?
and try to memorize this song, please. Okay.
Shut your face. Shut your face.
Your mind must flower.
It's great to learn.
Cause knowledge is power. It's Schoolhouse Rocky, a chip off the block of your favorite schoolhouse rock.
I'm just a bill.
Woo, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
Y'all, so unfortunately the attorney had to leave. He was being called into court, so he had to leave us, but we'll have him back. And he did leave us with an answer in terms of, is third degree easy to prove? And he said yes, it's much easier to prove. So when he comes back, we'll make sure that we have all of our questions for him, because that, listen, Facebook just erupted with questions as soon as he left. So nonetheless, we'll have him back. And Michelle Pascal said that we should have played the updated version of "I'm Only a Bill" from The Roots. So we got to find that one too and put that one out.
Well, yeah, and you kind of, you kind of aged yourself by showing what you used to watch, and so I was too young for this kind of cartoon. So, but anyway,
I don't even know what you're about. That, I mean, that's just like Sesame Street. I still love Sesame Street. We watched it. Like, it came on PBS. I have children. That's what we watched. PBS. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Okay. Do you want to talk about the cover that's out right now?
Yeah, but I did want to say thank you again to Attorney J. Wendell Gordon. He always comes through. He makes it easy for us to understand. We'll definitely have him back. I am very interested in this case. High-profile cases worry Black folk, i.e. Trayvon Martin. That's what Kathleen said. Yes, we do understand. And then, so chauvinist. Oh, so anyway, we'll have to ask the attorney when he comes back. Y'all make sure that y'all get y'all questions together for Attorney J. Wendell Gordon. We'll do part 2 of the George Floyd trial. We'll see what happens within a week. How about that? Anyway, moving on. Today's Thursday, so on Thursdays we drop new covers. So Kofi, help me pronounce his cerebral.
No, you're the one that's in charge. You tell me when to go and when not to go. So you go ahead and pronounce it.
I don't know how to cerebral. He fine though. Yes, Lord. So anyway, he's on the cover of Rolling Out this week.
He's
Shout out to
starter.
Crystal
Can you get
Jordan
it out, please?
for the
Come on.
What was that?
Huh?
Stop interrupting me. So anyway, he's now being identified as a sex symbol. He's a leading man with a legion of fans in tow. A cameo appearance in the 2016 blockbuster Girls Trip solidified the model turned actor status as a rising star. I think he's really young now. So the role placed him in high demand with moving and TV audiences. He's from LA. And he's the son of Ghanaian-born parents. He draws audiences of the faithful to tune into a weekly glimpse of the hardworking heartthrob and his coveted role on OWN Network's flagship series, Queen Sugar, that's written by Ava DuVernay. And she also serves as the show's executive director. He plays a former convict, Ralph Angel, on a critically acclaimed drama series, which returned in February for its 6th season. Y'all watch Queen Sugar? Anybody watch Queen Sugar? So
I don't watch soap operas.
I do. So he is Ralph Angel. I'm in love with this cover. I like the picture that they selected. I'm loving the smile. I love to see Black men smile. And he has definitely earned his heartthrob status, starting back in 2016 when he was the love interest of Jada Pinkett Smith in Girls Trip. And she was in an entanglement then. That's all I'm saying. Yes, he is fire, y'all. 1 minute. Somebody was trying to... Kofi is his name. How you pronounce his last name, D? She said, D said, I'm buying 10 copies. Is at a Black bookstore here, just purchased by a Black man. Hallelujah. Yes, Denver, come through.
Yeah, and that's good. And it's good to see that you like dark-skinned men. So, because I know that you favor...
I love all shades of... I love all shades. Okay. I do. I love Black men. I love Black men.
Okay. So that's that now on the newsstands, and so go ahead and get your copy or log on to rollingout.com.
Yeah, log on to rollingout.com. Crystal did a great job with the cover story, and the picture selection was great as well. I like the one that was on the cover. So there we go. Boom, there it is.
Okay, so we're going back to my report.
Terry, I don't know what the heck is going on with your audio. Cass, Courtney. Yes, Courtney. Courtney said, Courtney said she likes cast iron skillet black for her, okay? Girl, I feel you on that. Yes, girl, yes. child. That brought back memories. Okay. Yeah. What Tupac say? The
What
blacker
he
the
say?
berry. The blacker the berry. The sweeter the juice. I feel you, Courtney. And Dean and Brent said they like Queen Sugar. They watch it together. Hallelujah. Okay.
All right. All right.
Courtney, that was
Do
funny.
you watch Queen Sugar?
You know, I started watching it when it first came out, and then I fell behind on too many episodes, so I just need, some more time to binge watch all of them. They in 6 seasons now, so that's a lot to
That's a lot. That's a lifetime in TV. That's a lifetime in TV
Right.
years. So
right. So
congratulations.
I think I left off on the second season. I'm like,
Yeah,
they're in season 6. Lord, I'll just catch up with season 6.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. Yeah. So returning back to the reporter, we're going to a commercial.
You can't read. We going to your report. Go ahead.
Okay. He said commercials before, Portia. Don't come.
He
to me.
was saying something else. Go ahead.
I'm not in the mood for it. But anyway, my report, and I don't know who comes up next. So if you could help me out there, TJ, I would go ahead and go right into it.
It looked like Stacey Dash to me. What happened?
She has a Huh?
I couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Your girl Stacey Dash has apologized for supporting Donald Trump, and she basically wants to be invited back to the cookout. So she went on to the Daily Mail, the British-based Daily Mail TV, and gave a confessional. And she's off. She's trying to repent for joining Fox News, supporting Donald Trump, and joining basically the alt-right, ultra-conservative, racist right movement, and basically bashing or condemning former President Barack Obama, as well as the Black Lives Matter movement. You remember how she basically renounced and wholesale denounced pretty much anything that Obama and the Black Lives Matter movement did. So I didn't know what you thought about, or if you had an opinion about what happened to Stacey Dash, who is now apologizing. Some people have speculated on Twitter she's apologizing because, well, she's out of options now. She has been disowned and discarded by Fox News. She has been exiled by the Republican and conservative movement, and she's just emerged from her 4th divorce. She's already said that she was too broke. Yeah, she's been divorced 4 times. She's already admitted that she did not have enough money to pay for her defense when she was arrested for domestic violence against her 4th husband in Florida. So people are saying that this is a move to get back in good, to get roles, because she's 52 years old now. So she's no longer a toy, eye candy, or a trophy piece. So I just wanted to know what you thought. Does she get an invitation back to the picnic, in your opinion, to the cookout?
So I'm gonna go into my Paula Abdul again. She looked nice. She looked nice. I don't know. D is in the comments. She said if she admits that she did it for cash to pay her bills, then maybe we'll review her invite. That's it. That's the only way. If she said she did it for money, we're gonna review it.
Yeah,
it's not an automatic. It's not an automatic like come back. You're admitted back.
Okay.
It's not automatic.
The thing is that we incurred harm because of the stance that she took for money. So if you could prostitute your principles for money,
obviously. Mm-hmm.
Then you can never be. I mean, can you ever be trusted again when your principles are based upon your income? So And you know, I'm thinking that Chrisette Michelle needs to be invited back to. Matter of fact, I got her hamburger and potato salad already ready. Okay, she
She
needs
can
to be
come
able to
back.
come back. Huh?
She can come back. Chrisette can come
I
back.
believe, I believe that she's been punished enough. And as a matter of fact, I think she's been punished out of ratio and proportions to the crime that she committed. So I think that she's gotten. I think it's out of proportion to what the crime that the social crime that she committed, the cultural crime. I think it's time. I think it's time to review her application to come back to the cookout. Stacey Dash. Oh yeah. I
So
don't know.
Brent said she got to keep it pushing. Iris Baker said, I'm thinking this is what she said. She can keep her damn apology. Yeah, I don't know. It might be a wrap for her. She was
Okay.
like the sex symbol back in the day. I remember she was in Kanye's video. You know, her and Nia Long was like right there neck and neck. I think
Yeah, in the
everybody
1990s.
either wanted
Yeah, in the
them.
1990s. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
1990s, it was definitely those two. They appeared in a lot of rap videos. They were talked about in rap songs by rappers. But I think that they both, especially Stacey, but I think they both made the mistake of resting on Pretty, and they didn't really enhance their portfolio enough. And so
We're
I
not
thought
gonna
I
bring
thought that
Nia into this conversation because Nia don't have nothing to do with this conversation. Nia is still fine and she's still booking roles. So we're not even gonna bring her
Nia,
into the conversation.
hold on. Nia is adorable. Nia is adorable. I'm saying that something, you know, Stacey
Adorable is
rested on
for
Pretty.
babies.
Huh?
Nia is still fine. Adorable is for babies. Nia is still fine. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I will use the adjectives that I choose to. Okay. So I don't.
Adorable is for babies. Don't
Okay.
describe me as being adorable.
Okay.
I don't want to be
Well,
adorable. That's for babies. Yeah, Nia is super fine, and she don't have
okay.
no business in this. Well, she's always invited to the barbecue. So
Okay. So anyway, to the cookout that includes barbecue. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that correct. Okay. Adjust
okay,
your
cookout.
the description. Yeah, cookout. But anyway, your boy Michael Rainey took off on Swiss Beats and Timberland, calling them sellouts yesterday. He straight called them sellouts. This is Michael Rainey.
Tariq, down. Tariq, we
Michael,
can't even take him serious. Sit down.
why?
Because
Why?
he's Tariq. He's Tariq. He killed his dad. Go somewhere. Sit down.
Okay, so Michael Rainey Jr. is the gentleman who played the rebellious son of James Ghost St. Patrick on the blockbuster cable series Ghost that I wish was still on because that was just one of the best modern day cable series that I've seen. I mean, it was it was up there with Games of Thrones and the rest of those series to me. It was just great. Or what was that one back in the day that everybody always talks about, The Wire? Like it's in the upper echelon of modern day series. So anyway, Michael Rainey called Swiss Beats and Timberland sellouts because they sold Versus, that cultural phenomenon that just took off. They sold it to Trilla. But what he did not know, and that Swiss Beats and Timberland explained to him later, and very calmly explained to him,
Because he a little boy. But go ahead.
No, because Trilla is owned majority ownership by Swiss Beats and Timberland. So when they sold it, they basically sold it to themselves. So in the negotiation deal with Trilla, they acquired majority stock or ownership of Trilla Trilla. So by selling Versus to Trilla, they basically sold it to themselves, and then they added something else. By selling it to a company, they were able to turn the stockholders into the people who performed on Versus. This is a brilliant financial move. So what happened was everybody who came on Versus now has part ownership in the very company that they performed on. That is a fantastic, brilliant move. So Michael Rainey Jr. and what did you say, Tariq? You need to apologize, bro. You need to apologize.
He
was
just
wrong.
needs to sit out and he needs to talk about things that he understands because basically he just didn't understand what was going on. And I'm happy that they gently, basically schooled him and let him know, like, hey, like we understand where you're coming from, but this is not your moment. Have a seat. If he's 22, because on his chain it said 22, if that's any indication of his age, he really does need to sit down, have a seat, and learn a thing or two
Yeah,
from
because
your elders.
right. And they didn't even basically say we understood where you're coming from. They just basically said, Swiss Beats said, but we own Triller. And then Timbaland came back, at the same time and said, we own everything. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we own everything. So we own Versus, we own Triller, and we made owners out of the 43 artists that appeared on Versus. So everyone who's ever appeared on it has a part ownership. Man, that is like one of the most deft moves I've seen in a while. So was it like a Michael Jackson move when he bought the Beatles catalog? Yes. Producer TJ, that so it's one of those brilliant moves. And Michael Jackson back in the day was known as a ruthless but brilliant businessman, in addition to being a brilliant musician and an all-time great entertainer. So yes, I remember back in the day when I didn't even understand when I was, it's just like, ruthless. Why is Michael Jackson ruthless? Well, he just knew what he was going to do, what he wanted, got it. And yes, he bought the Beatles catalog from Paul McCartney, who was worth $500 million at that time. And he still won the bid. So yeah, it was brilliant move by him. Brilliant move by Swiss Beats. And Michael Rainey, apologize to them.
Yeah, and not only apologize. So this goes back to 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Not only apologize, but you really should seek first to understand and then to be understood, because you spoke out of turn. You were borderline disrespectful, and you just need to do your research a little bit more before you come to the table and accuse people of being sellouts. So have a seat, Tyreek.
Yeah, and it's also interesting that you keep quoting from a book that you don't read. So I don't you need to leave that book alone, because you talk about it all the time, but there's no evidence that you ever read it. Yeah, 7 books on highly effective people. By Steve Covey.
I've read it. I have the teen version because we used to teach. We had a teen group. It's called the All City High School Committee, and we had them reading because he has a teen version of the book as well. And he has I used to have my kids read it too. So yeah, no.
Yeah, there you go. And before I go on to my next segment, my favorite part of the book was the part where he talked about you could work hard as hell. I'm paraphrasing him, but he said you can work hard as hell, but if you are trying to find a place in Detroit and you have a map of Chicago, you will never reach that destination. So what he was trying to say, you need to plan and have the end game in mind of where you're trying to go in life, and then map it out. Because if you're working hard as hell, because you can work hard to try to find a particular location in Detroit, but if you got a map of Chicago, you will never find it. So that was my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts of the book. So anyway, shout out to Steve Covey and the 7.
It's not Steve. It's not Steve. You don't know him. Do not call him Steve.
I mean William Covey.
It's
Mr. Covey.
Steve. Yeah, you don't know him. You don't know if they call him Steve or not.
Okay, so you know what? This unnecessary shade is just ridiculous.
Steven.
I mean, TJ, get your host under control. Get your host under control. You know what I'm saying? Because I correctly pronounced his name, and then she still interrupted me and threw shade. You know what I'm saying?
So, not Steve. You don't know him. Y'all are not on personal basis.
I refuse to be victimized today. Today. Anyway, the next segment. The next segment is was it Beyonce? Is it Beyonce defending Meghan Markle?
Ali and Frazier.
Oh, okay. Ali. Okay. So basically, Mr. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, they fought this last month in 1971, or this month. They fought this month 50 years ago, 1971, in New York City at Madison Square Garden, which was considered the fight of the century. And this is where Frazier knocked out Ali and won the first fight, even though Ali came back and won the last 2 to basically take the tiebreaker in the Thriller in Manila. So anyway, so they finally erected a statue in their honor at a museum in suburban Philadelphia. But the problem is that both of those men are dead. And why couldn't they have been honored while they were alive is what I'm thinking. They love to honor our heroes after they die. And they like to change stances after they die. because Muhammad Ali was maligned and vilified for his conscientious objection to the Vietnam War and the fact that, he basically highlighted or illuminated the fact that we continue to go over to Vietnam and other places and defend the country in every war that this nation has ever had, and then have to come back home and fight the war of equality and judicial injustice. So he objected to the Vietnam War, was thrown in prison, was getting out, but he was basically barred from working. So he was a man in exile inside of his own country that his fellow brethren have always defended. And he was widely hated. All of a sudden, he's dead, and you want to honor him, like you've done Martin Luther King, like you've done Malcolm X, like you've done a lot of our dead heroes. You honor them after they die, and then you can manipulate the narrative about what they actually did, and you turn them into, or as Cornel West said, the Santa Clausification of Dr. Martin Luther King, turn him into some ice cream and cookie character when he was a revolutionary. Martin Luther King Jr. was revolutionary. And so I hate it that they always get honored after they die. Give these people their flowers while they're alive. So while I'm glad of the statue, I don't care too much for it because it's after they're dead. So that's my point on that. I didn't know if you had anything to add.
No, I am happy that their statue has been erected. Good.
Okay. Yeah. So I have my next. I had to turn my glasses up because my bifocals are on the bottom. That's all. That's all I got. I didn't have another one. I thought I had another one. Oh, you never did Beyonce, right?
Yeah,
I never elaborated on Beyonce. So if right quick, you could turn up Beyonce if you can, but if not, I'll just talk about it real quick. We need to go on the Portia's report because she hasn't reported on anything today. I don't know what she's doing. It's like I'm carrying, D and ISIS. My arms are killing me. My shoulders are tired from carrying Portia today.
You need to stop.
Yes.
You need to stop.
Iris Baker and D. My arms are tired from carrying Portia today. So, Iris. I'm sorry, Iris. So, yeah. But anyway, Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce for going ahead and getting Meghan Markle back because basically she is being castigated from coast to coast all over Great Britain and many places in the country. She's also being castigated. She's also being lambasted by Candace Owen, who's calling her a leftist narcissist for basically telling the truth about her treatment by the royal family and why they basically fled. They fled for their lives because they basically were just her brain just collapsed. She had a breakdown and she needed to get away before she died. And so shout out to Beyonce for supporting her testimony to Oprah Winfrey last Sunday. So thank you very much for that. I'm trying to read what you have on.
Don't worry, because it's my report. It's my report. Don't worry about it. Don't read my report.
Okay. Okay. You need to fall back on all that. I mean,
why'd you try to steal it, y'all? You try to steal it because you're from Ohio. Go ahead.
No. What I need you to do is get that grown woman out your voice and lower your tone when you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now you can proceed.
Okay. So the Senate and real news today, and outside of entertainment news, which is what Terry likes to specialize in. In some real news today, the Senate confirmed Ohio Representative Marcia Fudge as the HUD secretary. So this happened last night, Wednesday night. They voted to confirm Ohio. They voted to confirm Ohio Democratic Representative Marcia Fudge as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, adding another African American woman to the ranks of President Joe Biden's cabinet. So, good for her. I believe she is coming on. She's coming on Rolling Out. I'm not exactly sure which show, waiting for that confirmation, but we will get a chance to talk to her. And congratulations is definitely in order for her.
Yeah, shout out to her for further, especially during Black Women's History Month. I was talking about the strides and the pioneers of the Black woman Terry Smith, who just got basically hired as the COO of the NFL PA, Players Association. So no, I don't just do entertainment. I do real news. I talked about Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, you better get up off me and stop lying on me. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie on my name. Don't lie on my name, Portia. Anyway, back to your report.
Okay, so back to my report. In other real news that's not entertainment based.
You are such a hater. You are such a hater.
This also happened last night. Congress sent a $1.9 trillion pandemic relief package to Biden's desk. The House of Representatives voted Wednesday to approve the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan, paving the way for President Joe Biden to sign his top legislative priority into law later this week and deliver aid to most American households amid the pandemic. I don't know what he's doing over there, y'all. I don't know if he's happy getting a stimulus check or what. Like, what's going on?
We're getting our stimmies. We're getting our stimmies, baby. We're getting our stimmies. You know what I'm saying? I haven't
received one yet. I'm like, y'all just missed me. But Terry happy. He doing a stimulus.
I mean, one of the prerequisites to getting a stimulus check is that you actually have to work. And based upon what I witness from you every day, you're not deserving of a stimulus check. So you actually have to put in work. Yeah. So.
Whatever. So passage of the bill marks the first major.
TJ said that you're on the. TJ said that you're at a strata upper echelon of moneymakers in America, so you make too much money.
I don't know what's going on. They missed my account. That's all I know. But the passage of the bill marks the first major legislative achievement of the new administration and a Congress that is now under full Democratic control with narrow majorities in the House and Senate. So. They're going some real news. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and the stuff that I brought, Iris, hey, get on your girl because I brought real news today. I talked about Terry Smith, who broke the barrier in the NFL by becoming the first CEO.
You talked about that today? Did you talk about that today?
I talked about that at the top of the show. TJ, where is she at? Oh, that's right. You had gotten that email from somebody. You got that email or text from somebody. And you had to go crying to Melinda. But
I was distracted. I was distracted.
No, you were despondent. You were despondent. Yes, I mean, you were jolted. So I'm glad that you're doing better because I'm glad that you're doing better. So.
I am doing better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing
better. And we'll talk. Talk to your state representative or whatever, and just try to convince them that you actually do work every day so that you can get your stimmy. So.
Whatever.
We got birthdays. Bobby McFerrin. Bobby McFerrin is 71.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy, y'all.
Harriet Tubman, who was born. Okay, can I finish off the birthday? Sorry. Harriet Tubman, who was born Aramita Ross in 1822. She was born today. And of course, she's considered the Moses of our people. Terrence Howard is 52. Of course, he's from Empire and The Best Man and other movies. LaToya Luckett is 40. She used to be with Destiny's Child. DJ Black Coffee is 45. Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers, NBA champions, he's 28. Didier Drogba, 43. He's 43 years old. He's a soccer player. Cheryl Lynn, singer, she's 64. So that rounds out today's birthdays. Shout out to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Turn up. It's time to turn up.
You said Reverend Ralph David Abernathy? You said his birthday, civil rights activist? I didn't hear you say that. Did you say his?
Okay. Yes, Reverend David Abernathy, who was the closest confidant of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement. It is his birthday today. Rest in peace. And thank you for your contributions to our freedom struggle. Definitely. I didn't mean to omit him because he's definitely at the top of the list in terms of prominent people who should be honored today on their birthday. Shout out to Mr. Abernathy.
Yeah. Happy 40th to LaToya Luckett, who just had her second son, even though she is getting a divorce from her husband. Sometimes it bees like that.
Yeah, but they were
She
seen
got baby
together, and I
out
was hearing
here,
reports that
bring
they were
her
going to try to reconcile.
joy. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
it might be best for the kids, and then again, it might not. It just depends on what he did. We don't necessarily know what he did. I'm happy that we don't know
wait a
what
minute.
he
Whoa,
did.
whoa, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out.
What?
Flag
What?
on the play. We don't know what
What?
she did.
No. She didn't do anything. She was
She,
pregnant.
mm-mm.
She had a
What
2-year-old,
that?
and so she didn't do anything.
Mm-mm.
Like,
Uh-uh.
let's not get it twisted.
No,
But
no. Flag on
I was
the
saying
play.
that
Flag on
I'm
the play.
happy that we don't know what he did, because sometimes when you let your friends and your family and the public know what people did, it makes it harder for you to take your spouse, significant other, husband back, right? Because I mean, now you can let everybody know. That's why if you're going through something, keep it off of social media, keep it in your close knit circle. That's just you and him. And if y'all decide to work it
Don't
out, then
don't go on
nobody
reality,
knows what happened.
and
What?
don't go on reality TV. I mean, you know
And
what I'm
don't go
saying?
on
It has
reality
busted up.
TV if you want your relationship to work. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Reality TV murders an unstable relationship. Look what it did for Michelle Williams and the man that she was going to marry. I mean, they were
He was
engaged,
wrong.
and
No, he was wrong. He was, we didn't like him. He was wrong. She didn't, that wasn't the right one. Like, if you're gonna be with somebody, be with the right one, like Halle Berry said. That one for Michelle Williams was not the right one. And like I said, you let everybody into your business. So everybody now has an opinion. But had you kept that to yourself, and like you said, Terry, stayed off of reality TV, then nobody would have known. You could have happily married this semi seemingly racist person if that's what you wanted to do, and nobody would have known. Michelle. So anyway,
yeah,
I'm
well,
happy that Latoya Luckett, former Destiny's Child, Michelle is current Destiny's Child. Well, that's former too, because they're not together anymore. But I'm happy that if they do get back together, it's fine, because we don't know what happened. We don't need to know. It's none of our business. Keep it out of the spotlight. And
yeah.
that
I hope
goes
that
for
stuff doesn't
everybody.
come out.
Keep your business to yourself. Like, if you're going through something, write in a journal, be cathartic, type it out, do whatever it is that you got to do. Like, the reason why people know your business is because you tell them. If you don't tell them nothing, they won't have nothing to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but
keep your
everybody's so
business
thirsty.
off of social. Right.
Everybody is so thirsty. Everybody is clout chasing, and this is what the problem is. Whether you're committing a crime or talking about your relationship or talking about where you're going, you are so thirsty that criminals give up the fruits of their crimes. And they said police officers have a stat. They've made it so much easier to solve crimes because the people who are committing the crimes are putting it right on social media, and that cuts down their investigation and manpower to solve the crime because you're so thirsty.
Yeah.
Gangsters move in
Yeah.
silence. Gangsters move in silence. So all y'all putting
The
all this stuff on
reason
social media,
why, absolutely, the reason why we know your business is because you tell it. Learn how to
yes,
shut the hell up. Learn how to keep it to yourself. Learn how to
yes.
confide in yourself. Learn how to communicate with your spouse. Like, it's nobody else's business what your relationship is going through. So I am happy that if they do get back together, that's fine, because we can't judge her because we don't know what happened.
Yeah, yeah. We would have never have known what was going on in T.I. and Tiny's bedroom because they kept it to themselves until somebody told.
Well, that was, they needed some NDAs in effect, and apparently they didn't get any, but they did pay. And one of the recurring stories of the victims, the alleged victims, is that they got paid. So I don't know how far that can go, but a lawyer took on the case, so maybe there is some bearing. Maybe we need to ask Jay Wendell Gordon when he comes back what they can be charged with, because if you got paid for your services and you just didn't like it, like, I don't know, do you just get your money back, or can you bring about other charges?
If they were paid, if it's true that they were paid, then that totally invalidates their argument.
But they said
I mean,
that they were paid. There were several women that said, yes, I got paid, but I didn't sign up for that. But you got paid and you took the money. I'm not judging. I'm just going off of normal services that you pay for. Like, I don't know. Can you sue?
Yeah, Yeah, and then you went ahead and did whatever it is that they allegedly asked. That contaminates your case. That poisons your case. It totally invalidates you. You know what I'm saying? You can't do anything. You can't. I mean, if you didn't like it, then you shouldn't have taken the money. It's basically a wrap for me. What's going to happen is that they are going to be humiliated. They're going to be subjected to abject humiliation because, from what I understand, I saw a report. The National Enquirer is basically going to write up a long expose on them to talk about the alleged crimes or the alleged complaints of the witnesses. And before you go ahead and dismiss the National Enquirer, remember that that is the very publication that first broke the news that Tiger Woods was cheating on his wife. So don't go ahead and don't dismiss the National Enquirer. They broke the Tiger Woods scandal wide open. So yeah. So basically, even if they're not charged, and we can ask our attorney when he comes back, even if they're not charged, they are liable to be subject to abject national and international humiliation from what they allegedly did. So
yeah. So we'll see what goes on with that case. But once again, lesson learned. Y'all keep your business off of social media. Keep your business to yourself. If you went ahead and engaged in some subjective behavior, subjective sexual behavior, who are we to judge? But if you did it and you got paid, like, why are you speaking out about it now? Anyway, yeah, they caused that family a lot of stuff. I mean, they cost him money. He got taken out of a movie. Like, it's just, I don't know. Anyway, we'll wait to see how that plays out. But I will start I'll start my positive thoughts, y'all. And it is definitely based on Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy. And I do have a little bit of it right here for y'all because I wanted to play it for y'all. I thought I had it. Hold on, y'all. I did have it. Hold on.
No,
there you go.
Just don't sing, but go ahead.
Don't worry, y'all.
Oh,
This
hell.
little song he wrote. Happy birthday, Bobby.
Iris D, get your girl. Please don't sing. Please.
Don't worry. Be happy. Y'all, don't worry, be happy. Keep your business off of social media. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Terry.
Yes, and my positive thought of the day actually comes from a singer, quite coincidentally. It comes from singer Monica, and singer Monica once talked about some of the things that she has faced, the adversities that she has faced in our life. And one of the things that she talked about is that she doesn't see things as they are. She sees things as they want, that she wants them to be. So when you go through adversity in life, try to find what the positives are. The great late Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, talked about this as well, because he obviously faced some adversities in his life. And he said that whenever he faces criticism or faces adversity, he gets excited because it gives him an opportunity to rebound and show what he can do and what positive that he can show come out of it and show that he's stronger and better. So shout out to Monica and the late, great Black Mamba for helping to remind me that when you face adversity or things are not going your way, when things are not aligned with your values, please find the positive in it. Find the silver lining and don't dwell on the negative, because you're going to just perpetuate the negativity. It becomes I can't think of the word right now, but when you think negativity, then you're going to basically manifest negativity. So we got to find the positives and negatives. So thank you very much, Black Mamba and singer Monica, who I just adore. Thank you for reminding me.
That was like 30 seconds. Like, I mean, just saying, like, that was way longer than 30 seconds.
Okay, you did that yesterday, and I didn't criticize you for that. So you're going to get up off me because I don't wear a saddle, and you're not going to ride my back. Okay? So now, you're not going to ride me. Not today. Not today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call. Check us out tomorrow on Friday. Even though Portia's going to be here on the show. Yeah. And even though Portia's going to host it again, please tune in. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how we're going to do it. And so as we wait for our stimmies, you know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all on Monday with my sports.
I don't understand that, Dan. Why don't this phone?
Because I'm warding off the hate. I'm warding off the hate. Look, you can't dance, so stop. So stop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your game is whack. Your dancing game is whack. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, peace.
Let's learn to play today. And today we're going to learn to play. Peace.